Hi, this is Ikenke from Blue Steel Auto School. Today we're going to discuss potential hazards on the road. This is a very open-ended issue because, the potential hazards are limitless. Right? There's really no way to confine it. It could literally be things you see every day or things that you've never seen before, and it doesn't matter. At that moment, if it's about to make contact with your vehicle, it's a potential hazard. So almost anything you can imagine can be a potential hazard. All right, you have the obvious, the usual suspects of pedestrians, especially children and special needs individuals. Of course, you have bicyclists, motorcyclists, scooters, skateboarders. You have, of course, other cars, trucks, buses. You name it. Animals, both domestic animals, which are people's family members. You have wild animals, both small and large. The larger ones can really do a number on your car and even injure you, right? You have debris on the ground. Garbage can get blown out in the street, or something can drop off of a truck, or like I said, it's just countless. I was driving down Hancock one day during a snowstorm, and luckily there wasn't any injury, but this car in front of me was just driving. I'm following behind, and a tree just fell over. I guess the soil was weak, or the roots weren't strong enough, and the snow was weighing it down, and we were just driving down the street. Next thing you know, the tree fell over on the car, right? Luckily, the way the branches were, the car just got scratched. The car wasn't even really dented, and the driver was okay. And of course, it's a good thing I was paying attention. Otherwise, if I was daydreaming or texting or eating, or any of the numerous things that could distract people, even having an argument, or there's just plenty of things that can distract you while you're driving. So if I was doing any of those things, and of course texting is illegal, I could have slammed right into them, because who's expecting for a tree just to fall over on top of the car in front of you? But it happened, right? So you just have to keep your eyes on the road, but not just your eyes. You got to keep your head in the game. You just always have to be aware, alert, ready for anything. Anything can come out of the blue, literally. You always have to be looking in, the right directions. Mostly the direction you're going, the direction you want to go. You have to check the size of the road. Right? Most of your attention should be down the road, but not all. Right? You have to check the sides. You have to check your sides depending on what you're doing. You have to check behind you periodically. You have to be aware of everything that's going on around you and be prepared. Right? A pedestrian just jumping out from between two parked cars, that's hard to see. It's not impossible. Sometimes you can see some feet under the car moving that don't look right. Right? But it's hard to see. And if they just jump out in front of you, it's unfortunate for them. You're in a car, they're not. All right, so I don't know why they would do that, but they do it all the time. So you have to be on the lookout for that. So like I said, it's just countless hazards. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drive around, and we're gonna see what we encounter. There's no way to say that I'm gonna see this or I'm gonna see that, or we're gonna see everything. There's no such thing as everything. It's just too many to count, right? You just have to be ready for anything, right? All right, so let's see if we can get moving and see what surprises us today. All right. Okay, we're gonna start by leaving the curb. I could probably make it out here, but just to be sure, I'm gonna reverse. Potential hazard when you're reversing is we have to leave the curb. Another potential hazard. And you remember from previous videos, gear, signal, wheel. You look, mirror, and shoulder. Make sure nothing is coming from around you. They have the right of way, right? So if you're coming out, traffic coming next to you has the right of way. All right, let's see. We're starting off on a relatively quiet street. This car in front of me is turning. Now you have the right to go around when a car is turning in front of you. Be aware, even though they do not have the right of way, there could be cars turning left in front of you. And technically they're supposed to wait and make sure there's nobody coming around the car that's turning in front of you. But of course, people don't always do what they're supposed to do. Right? So as you're driving, I mean, you see a bicycle running the red light. You see people just standing on the sidewalk, but don't let that fool you. They could be standing for a moment, and the next thing you know, just on a moment's notice, they decide to jump out. Right? You notice I'm stopping here as this line disappears. All right, to give the buses room. All right, so another hazard is going out too far and not allowing bigger vehicles to turn. Right? And of course, these are all things that we've discussed before. But this is a potential hazard. A lot of people don't really understand what the stop line means or what's it for. This is why, right? So you see, if I'm up in the crosswalk, I'm way too close to that bus. All right? Intersections are #1 hazard, right? You know, you always have to be careful. So I have the green light. I am not pausing, but I'm still paying attention. Right? You always have to pay attention. I'm gonna make this right here. Let's get into some heavier traffic possibly on Eastern Parkway. So it's a red light. I'm stopping at the stop line here, making sure. Now again, potential hazard, people coming from the side. He's trying to cheat out. He's trying to cheat out, knowing that I have the right of way, you know, but sometimes you have to be the bigger person and, you know, just let them go. It's not worth an accident. This is one of my least favorite intersections, actually. Alright, so you see him cutting me off. That's one. And then these cars turning, they're supposed to wait. They don't like to wait. So I'm gonna make my turn here. And this is 2 lanes. So right turn, right lane. Alright? Right turn, I made a right turn into the right lane. Left turn, left lane. If you were making a left turn. Alright? And when there's more than one lane, you know, there's another hazard, right? Because cars will try to switch lanes, and if you're leaving your lane to go into somebody else's lane, you know, that person has the right of way. Whoever's already in the lane has the right of way. You can't just switch lanes whenever you want. But some people don't know that, or don't understand that, or just don't give a darn, and they will just go over, and you could be right there. So you have to be aware, right? Alright. So smooth stop where the road disappears, where you can, still get around the car if you had to. If the car in front of you breaks down, you want to be able to go around it without having to reverse.